Two Island Tragedy, or the Curse of Immigration. This story is about two islands. One island is a Christian island. Its culture is based on the golden rule to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And what's more important, the attitude or the perspective of this island is that when something goes wrong, you try and endure it or fix it yourself. And if you need help, you go to your neighbor for help, and you accept their help graciously. But it's only to get you on your feet, because your objective as a Christian is to help others. And so being dependent isn't really an option. The second island is Atheist Island, and Atheist Island is based on equal rights in the sense of equal outcomes. So this is a very empathetic island. They have great feelings for each other, and they have a very high moral quotient. That is, they have a strict or high sense of moral right and wrong, or this is what they assume or say they have. So when a person on an atheist island, they see something wrong, their impulse is to fix it. So they will volunteer, but they'll also require others to volunteer. And what's even more significant is that if the response isn't up to what the atheist feels is appropriate, they will coerce compliance either through legal means or by, for example, by making it a law that a person has to give up their guns or work at a food bank or do some other kind of social work, perhaps to graduate from school. But they'll also take money, taxes from people. And this is just a way to take from the unworthy and give to the worthy, or to benefit the citizen in ways that they can't benefit themselves. They can't manage themselves. So the atheist tends to look at the society as a social problem, and the atheist culture, they create social agendas, which is a program for correcting the wrongs that they see in society. So a lot of times in the atheist will see society in terms of victims and oppressors, and no one may be a total victim and maybe no one is a total oppressor, but in certain factors or in certain situations, one person is the victim, and one person, or I should say one group, is a victim group, and one group the oppressor group. And so the social programs of the atheist consist of taking resources from the oppressor to transfer over to the victim to correct some social social ill. And these are called social costs. Social costs are the cost of correcting the social problems. And the program or the activity in which this is done is called the social agenda. And so that is the culture of the atheist. And regardless of the mechanisms behind the failure, the atheist island is not doing well. So Christian island is looking at these problems, and because the Christian island is motivated by helping others, the island says, well, let's bring over some of these poor suffering atheists, and we'll help them out, we'll bring them over and incorporate them into our culture. But of course, they don't incorporate into the Christian culture because they're atheists and they've rejected Christianity, and so they rejected the idea of looking at their own beam in their eye for their problems and for a solution to their problems. So they come over to the Christian island and they can't get the job they want and they can't get the house they want, so they become a social cost to the island, the Christian island. And so the problem is, what the tragedy is that you can't fix the problem of another person by incorporating that problem into your own self, into your own solutions. And this is the mistake what the Christian culture has done. It's been absorbing liberalism into its framework to try and solve the problems of liberalism. But the problems of liberalism is the rejection of Christian culture. And so the problems aren't solved by absorbing liberalism into Christianity. The problem is to have the atheist island, the atheist culture, to adopt the culture of Christianity. We have to get liberal cultures, atheist cultures, the ones that reject Christianity, we need to get them to accept Christianity. And bringing atheists into your church isn't going to solve their atheism, and it is not going to solve the problems created by their atheism or their way of looking at the world.